Jonnicom.
Oof. She's dirty. I need to clean her. Oh my god. Look at all that dust. I've been neglecting my PSPs. Oh my god. Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little bit different. It's something I just wanted to discuss. And today I wanted to talk about nostalgia and how weird it can be and make you act. Don't judge me. You know, there are a lot of things that I'm nostalgic about. I think anybody can say that. But for me, it's something that always has kind of scared me. Because I'm always scared that I'm gonna stop having that feeling for things. You know, I tend to get really, really into things. It makes a lot of sense that I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and I tend to switch back and forth between my interests and obsess over them for long periods of time. Which kind of makes sense when you think about it, because you guys will see me get really into making videos about specific things, specific topics, specific systems, anything, and then I'll go months being into something else and having a hard time focusing on that old thing. But I never really lose interest in those things, I just move on to the next thing. And later, I'll probably come back to being obsessed with that same thing. And it's just something that I really wanted to talk about because, like, obviously, you know, I do love video games and consoles and all of that. And you can see it's kind of a mess in here right now because I've just been kind of focusing on a certain system. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about nostalgia and how I've, for years, been observing how it makes me feel and how I've thought about what it actually means to me and how it actually affects me, and how I've observed that it used to be something that was very passive in my life, and now it's something that I kind of chase. And that's what scares me about it, is I chase that nostalgic feeling because, you know, nostalgia is that feeling of a better time when you experience something that you loved, and that time is gone now, but you can still go back and revisit those times or those things and still kind of feel it a little bit. And I'm always scared that I'm gonna run out of that feeling for these things. It terrifies me because I'm like, oh my god, I can't go back and re-experience growing up with the NES, the original Nintendo. I can't do that. I can't go back and play Kingdom Hearts for the first time on Christmas Eve. You know, you can't do that. I can't go back and re-experience that. And it scares me because what if I go back and I play Kingdom Hearts on my PlayStation 2 and I fire it up and I don't have that nostalgic feeling anymore? Like, does it run out? Do you burn through it? You know, does it go away? Do you stop feeling the same way for it? Can something ruin it for you and make it so that you no longer feel good when you experience nostalgia? Can it make you depressed? It's just something that I've really been thinking about lately. You know, I know you guys have been wondering where I'm at a little bit, and I know that my posts have been a little bit, not concerning, but they've made a couple of you think that I'm like done with YouTube, and I'm not. I needed some time to take to myself, and I needed to slow down because I was becoming obsessed with it for stupid reasons. But it got me thinking, like, nostalgia, like, what is nostalgia? And the thing that I came to realize is that I am literally, right now, creating that next nostalgia trip. I'm creating those nostalgic moments, making videos, playing modern games. I'm literally creating nostalgia. These memories, what I'm doing right now, is creating nostalgia. And the thing that made me realize that, over the last year or so, the thing that I really got into collecting, you know, you guys probably know that, like, my channel kind of kicked off when I got really into the PSP. And I still love the PSP, but I haven't touched a PSP in months until this week. And I still love it. I'm not obsessed with it like I was at that time, but I am playing my PSP for a new video that I'm working on. Hopefully it'll be out starting in 2025. But you know, it got me thinking, like, I was obsessed with the PSP, right? And then I kind of stopped. And then I moved on to other things, and then for a little while, I got into the PlayStation 2. Now that was interesting to me, because I got into the PlayStation 2, and for the longest time, PS2 was kind of like the console that I couldn't go back to. It was the console that I grew up with, probably played the most as a kid. You know, that was like, you know, prime time for me. I mean, I think I got my PlayStation 2 when I can't even remember how old I was, but I got it on launch day, which was like, what, 2000, 2001? So I was like 9, 10 years old, maybe somewhere around there, 8, I don't know. I got it at launch. And the PS2, you know, I love it, but I had a really hard time going back to it because to me, the PlayStation 2 felt like it was the last era before we went really online with video games. And, you know, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 came out and we had achievements, and suddenly playing old games felt kind of pointless to me because you couldn't earn achievements, you couldn't show off, you know. And that doesn't really matter to me anymore. So finally, you know, last year when I was really into the CRTs and stuff, I fired up my PlayStation 2 again and realized, oh, I do love the PlayStation 2. And I started collecting for it again, and I started playing it again. And I realized that I was experiencing the exact same thing that I was with the NES, you know, with the N64 even. I was experiencing the same thing that I did with those older consoles, like the Game Boy, you know, the things that I grew up with when I was really young. I was experiencing that with the PlayStation 2, and it clicked for me. I was like, oh, it just takes time. That's literally all it is. Nostalgia is joy plus time. That's literally that's the easiest math equation. I mean, so, you know, it kind of impressed me because I realized, oh, I don't have to be scared about this anymore. And that was a really freeing feeling for me because, like, it's one of those things that actually, honestly, it really does mess with my mental health. Like, you know, video games make me happy, right? I do like video games, despite how frustrated they can make me. And I will curse. Oh my God, I will curse. I will yell. I will scream sometimes in a game, especially when it's just challenging me and I can't get past that boss, you know? But the feeling you get when you do beat it, it's amazing, you know? Like, so, you know, I do love video games, but I just, nostalgia, wearing out, running out, it's always been really scary to me. So when I look at these things and I'm like, oh my God, what if I don't love this one day? What if the box, you know, doesn't speak to me? What if I don't like the art? What if this stops, you know, being fun? What if I don't like this anymore? And that's when I kind of realized, like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. I'll never have to worry about that because I'm literally right now, the games I'm playing on the PlayStation 5, one day those will be nostalgic to me. I mean, as you can kind of see here, I've been on a PlayStation 3 kick, and there's a reason for that, other than nostalgia. I'm working on a series where I just play a certain console or a certain time period of games for an entire month. And hopefully in 2025, at the start of 2025 in January, when you're not supposed to really publish videos, I'm hoping that I can every month, hopefully, I'm not going to commit to it, but I'm going to try my damnedest. I'm going to try to post a video every month where I basically go back to a certain year, like in the PlayStation era of PlayStation 3. So I'm only going to play like PS3 and anything that you could technically play on a PlayStation 3. So like I could play PS2 and PS1 technically because it was backwards compatible, and I can only play PSP, and that's all I'm going to play. So that video will just be me focusing on revisiting these games that I grew up with, that I played in high school, and you know, revisiting it and seeing what it was like. And I'll be having some fun with it. I'm going to be limiting my life in other ways too. Back then, we didn't really have music streaming, so I had an iPod. So I'm going to be limiting my life in other ways too, just to like kind of see what it was like. I thought that was a really fun idea. I'm sure people have done it before. I just thought it would be funny to try it, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, like the PlayStation 3, like it's a fun era, right? Like, I'm going back and playing these games and like, yeah, some of them are hard to go back to because like I'm used to 60 frames per second and 30 seconds or 30 frames per second, you know, gives me a headache. But like going back to some of these games, they're still really fun. Like I just forgot how much I loved them. Like, you know, Cross Edge is a game I never hear people talking about that I loved, you know, the darkness. I bought a copy of Demon's Souls on the PlayStation 3, which I owned and gave away to a friend because he liked it and I hated Demon's Souls at the time. You know, now I've beaten it on the PlayStation 3, I can say that. You know, I went back and picked up games that I tried and played and sold, like Enslaved. You know, I'm really looking forward to playing the Ghostbusters game again. I remember loving that. You know, I picked up Heavenly Sword, which I believe was a launch title. I went back and played Little Big Planet, guys. And Little Big Planet was like my favorite game. I was a high schooler playing Little Big Planet with, I remember my friend David. I remember I bought it that day in GameStop with my friend David, and he was like, why do you want this little kid's game? And I was like, no, dude, like I played this demo, I remember, and like, I was in love. I was like, oh my God, it's Sony's Mario. And I loved it. It was like physics-based. Like, it was just so much fun. Mirror's Edge, you know, one of my all-time favorites. One of those games that, like, especially at the time when my friends asked me what games to get, I would tell everybody Mirror's Edge. And I actually got one of my, I would still call him my best friend. You know, I just reconnected with him. But I remember I even got my friend obsessed with Mirror's Edge, and he played it all the way to completion. He's not the kind of guy that really plays video games, and he loved it. You know, Oblivion, my friend made me play. The Ratchet & Clank collection, it came out a little bit later, but I did play that. you know, the future series of Ratchet and Clank, which I'm now trying to get a physical copy of Full Frontal Assault and Quest for Booty, just to have it, even though I own them digitally. You know, I want the physical copies. Resistance! Why hasn't Resistance come back? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, because like, the PlayStation 3 is now nostalgic for me, which is something I never thought would happen, and it has. And like the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era were things that I went back and looked at and like, oh, I don't want to touch this, I don't want to play this, you know? It's boring, it's not fun, it hasn't aged well. No, you f***ing idiot, it's aged incredibly. And like, even I'm starting to see it with like PlayStation 4 a little bit. Like I started playing my PS4 games on PS5, went back and gave them an earnest shot, because, you know, I'm really picky about the 30 frames per second thing, you know. 30 frames per second gives me headaches nowadays, it hurts my eyes. I don't feel good when I play the games, like genuinely, especially if there's like shaky camera stuff. It makes me sick. So it's kind of hard to go back to some of these games. Like, oh my god, you guys, I was playing Infamous on the PlayStation 3, and that game runs at like 19 frames a second most of the time, and it was really rough. And the only thing that saved it for me was the RetroTink 4K. That thing and its black frame insertion and its sharpening and its smoothing, just, I honestly don't even understand what's really going on with it most of the time. I have to like research the settings that I want. But this thing made playing PlayStation 3 so much more fun for me, because it just sharpens the games up, upscales them to 4K in a really nice way. Some subtle scan lines go a long way too. And like with the black frame insertion, it kind of makes things look much smoother, which I didn't expect. It's not going to make your games look like they're running at 60 frames per second or anything like that, but like in games where the frame rate is really low, or even in games where it's a steady 30, but especially in games where like the frame rate is low, it does help a lot. That black frame insertion, you know, kind of caused like a double image thing, but it does. Oh my god, like I was able to play. I played through all of Infamous, and I loved this game when I was younger, but I couldn't go back and play it. And I did, and I'm trying to platinum it, but man, I don't know, those blast shards is hard. And I'm going to play games that I've never played before. Like, I never played Infamous 2, I skipped it. I moved straight to Infamous Second Son and First Light. I never played Infamous 2. I fired this up for the first time last night, and I was floored at how much better it ran than Infamous, so I'm really excited to continue this one. I've just been, you know, playing PS3 like a madman. I went back and played Bloodborne, which I remember I played when it came out on launch day, and I loved it. And I hated Souls games back in the day. You know, I told you I didn't like Demon Souls, but I went back and I played Bloodborne, and I platinumed it. I platinumed Bloodborne because, like, it was partly nostalgia. I played that game when it first came out, and I beat it once, and I never went back to it. I remember just loving it. But you know, the PlayStation 4, I think at the time had a lot of really good games coming out, so I played it, I beat it, and I moved on. So going back to Bloodborne on the PlayStation 5 with like a steady frame rate, and plugging it into the RetroTink 4K and adding these subtle little scan lines and that black frame insertion, it made a huge difference, and it made the game fun, and I platinumed it. And now I'm one of the people that's going to be constantly asking for a remake or a remaster of Bloodborne, because it's just a fantastic game that absolutely deserves it, and I hope I don't have to resort to emulation just to play it at 60 FPS forever. You know, this game really deserves a remake. Please, give us a remake like you did Demon Souls. So yeah, I've just been kind of, you know, thinking about that stuff, and thinking about, wow, look at that hair. You know, it's really funny when you're a 32-year-old emo kid and your hairline is receding and thinning and you just don't care anymore. Aging gracefully, as they say. God, I need a haircut though, really bad. But you know, like, look at all this stuff, guys. Like, just look at it. Like, I love video games. I love music and writing music, and it's just kind of something that I wanted to bring up, because obviously over the last couple of months, if you guys have seen the updates that have been posted and removed, either due to the fact that that's what I do with update videos, or because of copyright claims that happened with the music I was playing in them, like, you'll know, like, I kind of went through a little period a while back, and that is unfortunately how my brain works. I struggled most of my life with depression. Only recently did I get diagnosed with ADHD, and we're exploring if maybe even I may be a little bit autistic. I don't think I am, but my doctor seems to think maybe. And I do see a little bit of the traits, but I don't feel comfortable claiming that title, I guess. The ADHD, 100%, that's me. But it's made a big difference in my life. So I just wanted to talk about kind of what I've been thinking about lately and explain myself a little bit and just share it, because I know other people probably think these thoughts and have the same thoughts as I do, and it's just cool. So yeah, I just wanted to discuss. That's all I wanted to do. Just talk about the things I love, and that's what I need to focus on, because for so long now, for the past few months, I've really let myself get back into a place that I was years ago, where I was just immobilized by my own brain. When I don't need to be that way, and I'm still working through it, but you know, I just doing this channel, when I started it, I wanted to kind of grow slowly, and I have, but I still have grown faster than I think I wanted to, and faster than I need. You know, when the PSP documentary blew up, it did this weird thing to, like, not my brain or my ego, I don't know what you want to call it, where I felt like, oh, I did this thing and it's really good, and now people expect it of me, so I have to do this. And that's not a good way to think. I just want to create things when I want to create them and how I want to create them, and so that's what I'm going to do. So ignore if I ever make like posts or videos or anything where I sound like I'm whining or I'm bitching or whatever. That's not my intent. I get into my own head sometimes, and I'm like, oh my god, people are expecting this of me. I have to do this now. And that's not, I know none of you are thinking that. You're just, most of you are like, oh cool, he put a new video up, if you even care at all, because most of you don't even get my videos pushed to your feed because of the way YouTube subscriptions work now. So if you do like my stuff and you're subscribed, hit the notification bell if you can, because that helps. It really does. And, you know, like my videos, please share them, post them on Reddit, Twitter, X, whatever you want to. Just help me out a little bit. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it's November, so I have about 2 months. And I really think I can do it if I just push a little bit. And I'm going to continue working on these larger videos that I'm kind of making now. And also, the other thing that I want to talk about is, just kind of in closing, nostalgia. What does it mean to me? I have a new definition for it. And to me, nostalgia is taking something that you love, you really love, video games, etc., anything, taking something that you love and putting it on the shelf. Just think about it, because when I thought about it, it sounds so fucking stupid. But it does, it makes me tear up a little bit just thinking about it. Nostalgia is taking something that you love and putting it on the shelf. And then you come back to it. And it still means a lot to you. Because obviously, guys, I'm talking about something else too, but like, do you hear the kids screaming outside? Obviously, I'm not just talking about video games, I'm talking about life. I'm talking about the things that you kind of, you pass by, or you let yourself forget. You know, the things that mean something to you, that you, in the moment, you really appreciate. And then they're gone. I got back into writing music recently, which a lot of you don't know. That was something that I did, but I did. And I shared it with you guys in the update video, I think, like, you know, that I was writing music again, and I still am. The plans kind of changed a little bit because people that were involved can't do it right now. So I'm kind of on my own, so to speak, and I feel kind of weird about it, but I'm still going to do it as long as the other people involved still want to do it. I'm taking my time with it. I'm not rushing anything, because I want to give this other person time to figure out if they want to be a part of it. And if they don't, it's okay. Because I still discovered that I can still write music, and I can still enjoy it, and I can still play. So yeah, nostalgia. Nostalgia is putting something that you love on the shelf. And then you come back to it, and you find that you still love it. That's what nostalgia is to me. Just think about it, guys. Just think about it. Of course, right now I'm just becoming nostalgic for the times when I didn't have to look at my hairline and wonder if it's gone back for self-deprecation, guys. It's my thing. It's my sense of humor. I think it's funny. And I'm obviously actually pretty confident in the way that I look. I'm thinking about shaving it, actually. Not like bald, even though I may not have a choice someday. But just like cutting it really short because I've never done it before. And yeah, just, I don't know. This has turned into a weird vlog thing. You guys like that? Because I can do that more if you do. Guys, I'm gonna ramble and stop doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, which is this PS3 era challenge. I'm literally in the middle of playing Ratchet and Clank All for One right now, so let me go play it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's good to talk to you all again, kind of like this, and just kind of chill. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know, and I will speak to you all soon.